Welcome back to Scotty's Hobbies. I know it's late in the week. This is the weekly update for my emissions deregulations videos, but I went on a pretty fun vacation to Tennessee. We checked out Nashville, Gatlinburg, and what was the other one? Pigeon Forge. So in Nashville, we went bar hopping at night on Broadway. That was pretty dope. The next day, we made a little drive to Pigeon Forge. That place is amazing. There's a ton of different stuff you could do there, a ton of stuff you could just look at if you wanted to. But we checked out some, distilleries for, I can't even think of the name right now, moonshine, there you go. My cousin met me up there from Virginia, and I was with my very beautiful friend. And then the next day, we went over to Gatlinburg. We did the Skywalk Park, I believe it was, or is it Skywalk Park? Skyview Park? Something Sky Park. But look at it, it's beautiful. And then we topped it off at the night going to Anakista. And this time of year, it is beautiful with all the Christmas lights and everything they have going on. We also saw the star presentation they have going on. Astra something, I don't remember, but everything, it's beautiful. You get a chance to go to Tennessee, go check it out. And I love telling everybody I'm from California out there. They hate us people, but I make them laugh and just let them know we're not all crappy people from California. But getting into this one, did you guys know that the big rig trucking industry is under attack from the federal EPA as well? Not just California. Did you guys know this? I certainly didn't until about a week ago when somebody started forwarding me some information where big rig manufacturers were contacting the EPA to try to put a stop to a regulation that's going to be in effect starting in 2027 on new big rigs. I'm going to go over that in this video, so stay tuned. But before we go too far, please hit that like button, subscribe. When we're all said and done, make sure you check out the video library for a ton of automotive helpful DIY videos and potential emissions deregulation videos that could be happening. Also, don't forget, I am giving away the Gulu DS200 scan tool. This is a Bluetooth OBD2 scan tool with bidirectional capabilities, clear codes, check codes. You could command like the fuel pump on, windows down, the horn. You could also do a parking brake reset for the electronic parking brake using this tool. This is amazing. I'm giving one away. Look for a link in the description and a link in the first comment to get over to the video. To enter or win one of these, all you got to do is comment. And I'm going to be choosing a winner on on December 6th for one of these. I'll drop ship it via Amazon and it's yours. All you got to do is comment on that video. Now, what is this new rule from the EPA? This is a federal rule. This isn't a California rule. So we all know that the CRAs stopped the omnibus low NOx rule here in California, which was a rule to pretty much make manufacturers or truck manufacturers start adding more components to reduce emissions coming from those big rigs, which would in turn make it more expensive for the ICE or internal combustion big rigs, which would make it more likely that those people buying those big rigs would be forced to be buying electric big rigs, like the Tesla big rigs and stuff like that. I didn't know this part. The federal EPA also has a rule that starts for the 2027 year model big rigs, where it's pretty much an omnibus low NOx rule too. Starting in 2027, the big rig manufacturers have to reduce the NOx output on these big rigs by over 80%. I believe it was 82%. Look at this. This is the rule that's going to be coming up. That's becoming in effect. There's also going to be a link in the description to the EPA website so you could read about this yourself. But the big rig industry isn't just under attack from California. It's pretty much under attack from the federal EPA as well. I honestly think big rig trucking companies, all that good stuff, should be left alone because that is what keeps America running. That, like, especially from California. Here in California, I believe it's over 40%, it's probably even higher, of the goods going into the United States flow through the California ports via big rigs. It's nuts that they are putting so much regulations on these vehicles. Now, the trucking industry wrote a letter to the EPA trying to put a stop to this, to try to postpone it, this rule until 2031. The EPA got back to them 4 days ago, I believe it was, what I was looking into. I will put a screenshot right here. Here's some articles you can go check out. Just if you Google EPA heavy duty emissions rule 2027, you're going to find it. But EPA wrote them back and said pretty much, no, we're going to stick with this. We're going to follow through with this. So you guys, what is all of these other bills to get rid of the California emissions really gonna do? It seems to be more and more and more that the federal EPA is moving towards what a California standard would have been. If this federal rule to reduce NOx by 82% is not greater than what the omnibus low NOx rule was, it's pretty darn close. But I would think, I didn't see how much the emissions reductions was with the omnibus low NOx, but what in the world is the point of taking out the rule from California but leaving on these federal rules? And everybody that says you're going to be able to delete diesels or do diesel deletes and take the emissions reducing equipment off these big rigs is full of crap, really. Especially if the EPA is following through with these rules, how is the vehicle or the big rig manufacturers gonna abide by this rule or make this rule actually happen? They're gonna have to add emissions reducing components. That doesn't mean deleting emissions reducing components, that means adding more. It's also gonna cause the cost of the big rigs in 2027 to go up even more. The upside to this rule going into effect is the, usable life warranty. And usable life is, a lot of people say, well, after the usable life, we shouldn't have to maintain the vehicle. Usable life really only pertains to warranty, not that you have to upkeep it. It just pertains to warranty. So with this new 2027 rule, the usable life warranty for emissions on big rigs is going to go up to 650,000 miles. But with all these extra emissions components, how much time are these vehicles going to be off of the road for maintenance, for upkeep, for just repairs of emissions equipment going bad? We all know how the DEF causes a ton of problems. Everybody thought it was a great idea, or everyone thought that they were going to get rid of DEF. And then the EPA said, nope, we're not going to get rid of DEF. We're just going to change the D rate rules so that you could actually drive your vehicle longer before you get your DEF repaired or filled up. More than likely filled up. Don't know too much about all that stuff. But what's really going on here? Are we making a step forward in the progress of being able to modify our vehicles, or on big rigs to continue trying to reduce emissions from these big rigs? I don't think it's a great idea. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And if you're out there raw dogging the internet, make sure you're using a VPN. I personally use Express VPN. I've always used it on my phone for a couple years. My daughter started using it on her devices so she could watch shows on Netflix from other countries, as well as just keeping yourself safe while browsing the internet. If you ever use public Wi-Fi, that's especially a time that you need a VPN. Make sure to check out expressvpn.com/Scotty's Hobbies to make sure you are secure while browsing the internet. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys on the next hopefully helpful video.